Okay, this is the variation we did consider. Honestly, I'm wondering if I push. Alright, good morning everyone and welcome back to the Road to Better Chess. It's a lovely morning here in Osaka. It's a little bit windy, but it's driving away all those rain clouds. We are white and we are going D4. The last few days we've had a lot of up and down. We've won some, we've lost some, we've won some, we've lost some, which is frustrating when you lose, but really nice in terms of getting good learnings out. We're clearly in an almost at an age range. Oh, this is the Grunfeld. We're clearly in a rating range where we can start to really get a little bit of training in. Shall we go for the exchange or shall we go for something else? I think we're going to go for the exchange. We're going to go here. Here, this is also very standard theory, and I believe we want to put our pieces out like this so we can play here. Alternatively, you do this. I'm always so unsure which one I want to do, to be honest. But I'm pretty sure bishop c4 is mainline. So let's do that. Yeah, that's fine. And we can do either of these. We're going to go with the more passive one. So we can play f3 if that bishop comes out. And we're just going to castle. We're just going to get into the game. What I've also realized in the last while is that, and now that we're in a rating range where we're really getting some learnings in, we are getting stuck on time. We're playing too slow. So we are going to try and speed up our play a little bit here. Alright. Alright, so that's 4 attackers. We've got 3 defenders. We can push this pawn and give them this square, which is a little bit. We can push this pawn, which also I think we're just going to keep on developing instead. And let's see, at some point they might take here. There's a whole line where you end up like trading everything. We'll have to see. They take once, take here, they check, we hit the queen. Yeah, I actually think there's a line here where we end up trading basically everything off, and that's one of the points about the exchange Grunfeld that I didn't originally like so much. But it is the only Grunfeld I know right now, so until we study up something else, I think this is just what we'll be doing. Other moves that are interesting, I think if you put your bishop over here, then I might play this, because I get it with tempo. I'm hitting your bishop. And if you take my bishop, I can take, and I can take with check. And then I can move this bishop out of the way, or I can pin your knight to your king, but never mind. Okay, so they take once they castle. So this is still 3 attackers, 3 defenders. I think we're also going to castle. No reason to do anything else just yet. Just get us to safety, and we still want to ask them where they're going to put this light square bishop. There is this move, bishop g4, which seems silly, but this is one of the main lines where they kind of make us play f3, which is why we put our knight over here on e1, on e2. Otherwise, bishop out here I think is a move. Here is probably a move. Queen out, pushing the pawns. I mean, there's a lot of options here, right? So we'll see. I do think we want to get our rook off of the diagonal though, so that we can start moving these pawns without issues. We would, for instance, be not completely unhappy to do this and push, and then play this back and eventually actually just push here and start rolling our pawns through the middle. But let's see. Let's see. I'm also happy to say that although we lose games and it's frustrating, I do basically go to sleep every night or wake up every day with a bit of excitement to try and play again, to try and improve. So as long as it's fun, right? As long as you still enjoy it, because if you don't, it's hard to keep going. So the one thing I will say about d5 is giving this knight this square. I've lost the game basically because a knight got here. So I'm not against considering f4 before we do something like this, or here if the bishop has moved, so we can do this. In which case actually we could put our rook over here maybe, and then push and push again, and they would trade off, and we'd give the bishop pair away, but we would get a very strong pawn center rolling. Although I do realize f4 also gives the g4 scare away, so. Alright, our opponent needs to consider what to do. Happy to say we actually still have more time than we started with, so we haven't actually spent too much of it. We're going to try and speed up our games. Too many times it turns out we're actually losing the end game because we don't have the time to calculate it and stuff, so let's see. Yeah, if nothing funny happens, okay, queen out. I think this is just the move here. What can they do? Does the queen go anywhere we care about? This square is open, I guess. As are these two. Backwards and all the way across this one. It's kind of not much, to be honest. Does the queen help anything? Not that I can see. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead, get this rook out over onto the b file. The pawn is still protected by our bishop. And I'm not turning on the aircon. Sorry if I'm shivering a little bit. Because the last while I also keep forgetting the aircon on overnight. So I'm just wasting electricity. Yeah, when I finish, I walk back to the living room. And then the next morning when I come back to change, I realize, oh, the room's warm. The aircon's on. So we're going to try and avoid doing that, but I am a bit cold right now. What to do? What can we punish? How do we get an advantage here? It's something about the pawns in the middle of the board, right? Rook over. Okay, so that's 3 attackers and 3 defenders on our pawn now. And also you are not defending your f7 pawn. So we could play queen b3 and put some pressure there. Would we trade these pawns? Yeah, if the trade isn't bad, I think we would, because they would just have an isolated pawn then. So, how to do? We could push, but then they jump in here. That's the continuation we don't really like. We could hit the queen at this point, but unsure if that's the best move. We could go here, and if they do something like this, we could hit the knight. Probably means the knight jumps here, and then we can hit the queen. And the queen's trapped, actually. So here, and they have to put the queen back. No, they have to put the queen here or here. Because if they go here, we can hit the knight. And then we can just trap the queen. Okay, so this might actually be a nice move. The only thing with this is they would take the rook potentially, but... Ach, the pawn. But if you take the pawn with the knight, we take your queen. Take with the bishop, they can take with the rook. We take your rook, and then here. So I actually think this move is quite nice. But after the queen moves, I don't really know what we have. After the queen moves, what do we have? Should we play this first? And if you take, we take, you take. I mean, basically whatever you do, we can take this pawn first. And then we can finish trading. Okay, so this is a fun move, but it doesn't help much if they just protect their queen. Although actually then we can hit it here as well. So actually this might be a fine in-between move, because if they don't make this mistake, then we could just hit here, and if they do this, oh no, then I don't know. Then we're in trouble. Yeah, that doesn't help, because then our pawn is pinned to our queen, so that's not good for us. So here, and then we have to go back and defend again. Maybe from the opposite angle. Okay, maybe in that case this is best. Just forcing you to play this pawn up first. And in which case your light square bishop isn't going anywhere. So then we can block off your dark square bishop. And if we ever end up doing something here, we could actually sack there, potentially. If we lock up your dark square bishop, we can bring our other rook over actually, and we can jump our knight somewhere, which might be useful. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. So we're hanging this pawn, but we're going to take your f pawn, which I think is going to be useful. If you take with anything but the rook, oh sorry, with anything but the knight. If you take with the knight, we have to take back once at least. We actually don't. We can still take here first because it's check. If you do anything else, we can still take. If you stop us from taking, we can push to defend, or we can defend this way. And then again, we have enough defenders on the back rank. Light square bishop out here, we just take again. And then here. I think there's a variation where you actually end up taking and then you open up this file. Because I think you sack your light square bishop. If they go here, you go here. Don't quite remember it. Alright, we're equal on time. Martin, if you're watching, look, I'm actually up on time slightly versus my opponent. Alright, if they move their queen out of the way, we might have to move our light square bishop somewhere as well. Even here maybe. Just to snap off this knight, because if it jumps here, it's forking our queen and all. Although if they move the queen, we can take the pawn, so go figure. This idea was kind of fun, but I was guessing they would just go back there, and then I don't think we have much, and our pawn is insufficiently defended. So we'd have to basically just go back. And then it's their move again. Yeah, so. And I would keep my dark square bishop on this diagonal, because I'm thinking about moving the f-pawn in some variations, and I want to be able to avoid checks. Okay, this is the variation we did consider. Honestly, I'm wondering if I push. If you take, I can take with my bishop. Actually, if you push, oh no, if I push here, you jump your knight over there. Is there any way to hit your queen that's meaningful? Not really. Okay, you've got 3 attackers, I can put 3 defenders, and then I can do this, which is pretty good. Alright, so I think this over is looking good. Just make sure we're not hanging anything unceremoniously. Also, your light square bishop is worse now. Alright, so I think this is nice. We now actually maybe... little man might be awake. We might actually want to play f3 or h3, or even g3, probably f3 to be honest, because we have this bishop here. Just to avoid any back rank problems, because the rook closest to our king can get taken, which means it's taken with check. I'm going to check on the little man. Nope, the little man is still a-okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, we can actually hit the queen where it is now with our knight. We could hit the queen here, and then we can to take here. The queen does hit this, stud hit this, but I don't think those things matter. This knight jump looks exciting. Where's your queen gonna go if I jump here, for instance? You can run away here, you can go back here. Yeah, you are kind of short on squares though. What if I do this, and then this? I'm not so sure what the point of this move was, to be honest. I kind of like this right now. Probably the knight goes back to get into these squares though. Otherwise we just play here. We wanted to play one of these up anyway. Or we just hit the knight. And when it jumps, what do we do? We take, and they can take with check, and we take back, and they take here. And we take here, and they take here. Oh wait, we can take and take again actually though. Otherwise we do this, and once they jump we actually just keep on pushing. That might be something to consider, just getting our pawn all the way down. Alright, so f3, d5, e5 also seems fun. Otherwise one of these knight jumps. I mean, asking the queen some questions seems good though. Because depending on where you go, I could actually hit you again. If you walk into my bishop, I could take a pawn and hit your rook same time. I think this was just a bit of a mistake, to be honest. This does undefend this pawn right now, but let's see. If you take my pawn, I take your queen, you take my queen, I take your bishop, and you only have one attacker here. Yeah, it's pretty good for me. I think I'm actually just going to jump and ask them what their queen's doing. We still have defense on this rook by the queen and the other rook, which is very important. They do have this jump, which I think is probably where the main idea came from. We did mention that if they move their queen, we've got to watch out for this fork. Where you've got here, you don't have any of these. You've got here, then I hit you again. You've got all the way back here. I think that's kind of it actually. Your queen's kind of misplaced. If you go for us here, yeah, see, I don't think this works, because now I do this. Oh, you can run this way, I guess. But now I do get my defense in that I was looking for. And then we're just going to have to move the queen to defend here again. Yeah, I did want to play this anyway, so I'm kind of happy with this. And this also gives us lift, so our back rank isn't a concern anymore. Your queen has to go back, all the way back. Back here sucks. This is probably, you're going back to e2, e7 at this point, I think. And then what are we doing? I think we're just jumping on queen over here. So if you push, we can take and take, we're okay. See, we've got better development here. That's kind of the main. Oh, little man is awake again. Uh, Otherwise we just push this now. We give away this square, but you actually can't go there because your knight's here. And we will give up our light square bishop for this, but seems kind of okay actually. We can go up, and you need to trade and trade. But then if we push this, our light square bishop's the one we need, isn't it? Okay, otherwise we just move it. Just drop it all the way back. We've got 3 attackers on this right now. That's a concern. Alright, otherwise we just... Man, I don't know. Maybe we've walked into a situation we need to do. If we take now, you'd probably take back here. We take again, you take. It's not so good for us. I think we have to give up our light square bishop actually. I think it's kind of hard not to. If we go here, you go here. We can avoid the queen trade. If we go here, you go here. What if you take once? So it's one of these, or it's moving our queen, I guess. What if I move my queen here? This is just a stupid place to be. I attack, you defend. I get out of the way here. Well, I get out of the way here, maybe. This kind of feels like the move to do. Your bishop is kind of stuck, but then I also have a dark square bishop, which is not the one you want to keep in this structure. We can also jump back. Oh, that gives us this square later on, maybe. So jump back, then it's 3 defenders again. You jump over. Get out of the way, you take, I take. And you're probably going to bring your light square bishop out this way, aren't you? Oh, you can't because I'm actually taking your pawn. Alright, I think we're going to go backwards to give our dark square bishop this diagonal again. Or should we just do this? Jump here, here. It's the same pressure. We could try get our knight out this way actually. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go for this. And this is still defended, so it's not like you can sack here and get much. Oh man, moving again. Alright, now we're down on time a lot. We put ourselves in a tough spot. Alright, yeah, so this is now where we lose our light square bishop. Can they pin it to us? Oh, I can actually just attack your knight and force you to do something with it. Yeah, I think I need to. Because if I don't, maybe you bring your queen out, and then my queen is kind of offside-ish. Although I guess I could have done this then, but anyway. Alright, I'm gonna have pressure there, and I'm gonna try and bring my knight over to this square. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try and do this. Okay, yeah, so you had to do that. So now if I push, I'm hanging this pawn, which is not great. Light square bishop, this is going to be a problem. maybe I go back with my knight. Maybe I just push my pawn actually. This might actually be the way. Because I've got a lot of light square problems, but it's actually not that big a concern right now. Actually, it kind of is, isn't it? Maybe I need to play F to block it up. Oh, if you play that, I can still play here. Oh, and unless you like pin it to my queen, that's bad for me. Then you have to get out. You can take a few ways, and eventually I can hopefully take as well. Yeah, really unsure about what we're doing, to be honest. One knight can jump back, and once they do this, we kind of have nothing there. Then we can push up. Otherwise, it's this. Just don't know about this square. This might be a problem. I'm actually thinking I have to play F3. It feels silly, but I just want to block up this diagonal. Alright, and play a bit faster, play a bit faster. We can still run our queen away. And we've got this break, which I think we're going to have to use. If they do this, I think we actually jump over, because we wouldn't mind being there and taking that. Just want to keep this from being a problem. Otherwise, maybe I should have just immediately put my rook over so I can bring my queen in. That might have actually been the way to go. Or that might have been the better way to go. Rook over, queen in. Alright, now we are down on time. Sorry, Martin, we are down on time again. Yeah, here they come. Now, the point was that I want my king to defend this pawn, which seems really stupid now that I think about it again. Up. Now they're going to get some pressure on us here. And we can attack this backwards pawn though. This actually also defends the c2 square, which is now kind of weak. Our king is wide open. Silly ways of playing this one. Alright, but we're hitting here. And actually then that's semi-pinned to the queen. And if they move it, then this pawn is hanging. And we still have this to protect these squares, which is important. Also have the knight. We would have a isolated pawn, and they would have an isolated pawn, but actually we would also get this square for the knight, which would be really strong. Could be really strong, although this could be a problem. Our f pawn is a concern. But yeah, if they were able to get their queen and their bishop down this diagonal, we would be in some serious trouble. Oh, I think little man is awake. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna pick him up. Alright. We have to make this d5 break work. Or we have to reroute our pieces because the dark square bishop is now stuck behind it. I do see actually we have bishop d2, bishop b4, which hits the queen, which could be good. And we could actually then put the bishop on d6 maybe, blocking the pressure on the backwards pawn. Oh, that's tricky. If I go here, they go here, and I'm stuck. Um, hmm. What if I just do this now? This also allows them to push the pawn a little bit, but it does take away the... Okay, so here now we have pressure on their rook. And if they take, we hit their queen. And then here... Oh, this could actually be our chance now to push this. If they take, we take again, hitting the queen. And then what? We can hit the queen this way. It doesn't quite work, does it? Take, they take, we take, they take the pawn with their queen. We just don't have anything much. Alright, I'm gonna go for this plan. There's only one defender of that pawn now, it's my queen. So a little bit overworked. But we're hoping it'll be okay. As soon as we move the bishop... I mean, we can move the bishop to c... No, we can't. Alright, yeah, this is gonna be tricky. If they play queen up... we might actually just have to move the bishop back. Yeah, if they play queen up, we're gonna have to move the bishop back because there's nothing else protecting it. Otherwise, we're running our king in there, which is just insane. Oh, doubling the rooks. Very unexpected. Okay, but now I can hit your queen first, and you can check me, and I can block with my knight. And where's your queen gonna go then? I wonder. Alright, so hitting the queen. We can block with our knight, which is kind of the saving grace of this position right now. Yeah, buddy. You're waking up, eh? 1 second, we're down under a minute. Classic. Under a minute with baby. Not enough time. Alright. Queen attacking that pawn. We're gonna put our um, bishop on d6. It just simplifies a lot the pressure that they have for us. And then we can work on our knight maybe coming around. If they check us, we can take... Yeah, well, it doesn't work because we can take once and they check us again. Yeah, so I have to maybe just move out of the way here, to be honest. Or I just block with my knight. I think blocking with my knight is good because it also protects the backwards pawn here. So that seems good. Your queen is still under attack. And I can block up the situation a little bit. I do realize you can do this as well. Frustrating. Oh, but then I can take here, which is great. So. And there's no check. So queen here, I take it. Queen here, I just attack it. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna attack it. And then I don't know. Then we're probably just gonna have to trade queens. Yeah, options are limited. Queen. Queen can't actually come down anywhere without being traded. Here I can trade you off. And this pawn is weak. Maybe I'd have to push it. Oh, actually I can trade off the rooks as well because my rook is doing some work here. So that's important. Your dark square bishop is kind of out of the game. Your light square bishop is crushing me. My knight's defending the backwards pawn. Okay, so this... yeah, I think I gotta trade here. I don't think there's much choice. Um, I can attack you again actually, but you're double attacking this knight now. So yeah, let's just take. Alright. And now, uh, what to do? This is under attack, this under attack. Now I think I'm just... Now I just gotta do this and then trade off your rooks, I think. Okay, didn't see that coming. Oh, but it's defended, so it doesn't matter. Maybe you're missing that it's defended. Take, 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 take. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. It's gonna be a knight and a bishop versus two bishops, but we are up a pawn. No, we're not. We're not up a pawn. We just have more extended pawns. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, it's this light square situation. I can't take it. Can't keep on attacking it. You just move it. I just gotta get out of the way. Yeah, and now we're gonna trade here. At least I get some counterplay. Oh man, the light squares, hey? Yeah. Right, we're gonna attack with our rook, get it active. This would be a good square, hitting a lot of stuff. This pawn is defended, this pawn is defended, the rook can't get into this pawn, so this is not an ideal situation, but we're kind of doing okay. The rook has to come over here, I guess, to try and make some other plans happen, and then you can... So when you come over here, you know what, I might actually even just run my king up and force the trade. We'll see. No, counterplay. Here, you come for me up, you come for me again here, you come for me again here, you can attack my backwards pawn, but your bishop's in trouble, although you can check me there. Ah, my king can't get onto light squares. Dangerous. Yeah, so I'm expecting something like this, to be honest. And here. So when you come here, I think I just have to... I just have to hit you. I can't go here because you come at me from behind. Oh, immediately. Okay, just hitting me immediately. Okay. Um, I can force the trade though, I think. And then my knight's safe. And I guess I gotta start just running my king up the board. Try and get at these pawns. Oh, another tactical miss. Alright, so we're screwed now. Now we're just down a piece and a pawn. Ah, GG. Alright. This is a bit of a Hail Mary situation. Take. Take, you're gonna run up here. Check again. Is this like a perpetual? I wonder. Um, here, and now I do this. Oh, actually, this is mate. We might have just lucked out, guys. Oh my goodness. I think we lucked out. You can come at us, but we can just run and run and run. Yeah. Oh, importantly, here, we can't let you get behind us, because if you take there, then the rook... Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll be honest, that wasn't really planned. How do you defend this? You have to move this pawn, I guess. Then I go up, you come up. No, then I have to go this way. Then you go up here. Then I go here for this. Okay. So if you do move this pawn or this pawn, I gotta rethink the situation a bit. If this is ever on a dark square, I can do some trickiness, but currently this is just mate. So it's gonna have to be some of these pawns moving. Actually, if you move the wrong pawn, I might even be able to like get behind you, take the pawn, and keep pushing for a promotion. Okay, buddy, gotta focus. Gotta focus. 18 seconds. We're actually going to be up in time in a second because our opponent isn't sure which pawn to move. Alright, if it's a small movement, I feel like this would be the move anyway though. Yeah, if you move this one, it isn't. Then I have to go this way. Then your rook might have to give up. Oh my goodness, our opponent couldn't find anything. All they had to do was move their pawn though, I think. Okay, so we're going to take it. We're going to take it. Clearly we made a incorrect plan somewhere in the middle game there though, so let's have a look. Alright, exchange Grunfeld. This is all normal. Bishop c4 I think is kind of mainline because you need to put your knight out behind it, but there's also tricks like this. But anyway, we just played the non-tricky line. Everything defends the middle pawn, everyone castles. Bishop e1, oh, rook b1 is still mainline, I think. Queen b3 is probably not mainline. I'm not sure anymore, to be honest. At this point, I'm a little bit unsure what to do. I think actually what we could have done here is even this, hitting the knight. Because if you move your bishop, I take the pawn, and if you don't, oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. If you don't, then I isolate your pawns, and I also take one of the attackers off. So let's have a look if bishop d5 would have been any good. There was also this trick that I saw with bishop d2 in this position, and the queen can't go to a3. Oh yeah, sure. Sorry? Oh, he did it a little sleepy. What good is it? I think he's got a bad change. Thanks, buddy. Alright, little relay with the little man. Always good to have him here for the team chess at the end. Give me that outside assistance. Yeah, so I think actually bishop d5 might have been interesting here. We did have this trick, but it only works if they put their queen there, because then we hit the knight and we hit the queen, and it's trapped, it can't go anywhere. So yeah, this maybe would have been an idea. At any time, I could have also played up one of these pawns. I could have also just played f3 and been like, alright, cool, you tell me what you're going to do. And maybe that's next time a thing to do. I don't have to always be the one making things happen. I can also just kind of make a structure. But yeah, we did do this, and then we did defend with the other rook, which can be dangerous. This queen over was obviously intended for this, but we get this and this, so that's pretty nice for us. The only problem is by doing both of those moves, this is now insufficiently defended and this is coming. So maybe we could have done this once, but in this position then we had to first, like make a plan with our queen. Defend the pawn in this way, go somewhere so we can move the bishop out of the way or something. So yeah. Otherwise, maybe this whole plan was just silly and we should have just chilled out. Just move the bishop. Yeah, that actually honestly makes me think like queen b3 is just a stupid one mover and I should have just gone f3 or something instead. Alright, anyway, here we figure out, I don't know if I can save my light square bishop anymore, and the problem is actually we're going to end up, in the previous game we actually said this, if you have one bishop left, don't put your pawns on that color because the bishop is useless. So we probably had to just suck it up. The bishop's going to fall. Whoop, and then take back. And at some point we just had to push. Maybe this was actually even a move here. No, not yet. Maybe it was here then. Push. I don't know. I think we should have tried to make the pawn push work earlier. Now we just blocked off the bishop we have left. It's really silly. I did also have this way of trying to trade, but then I thought, oh no, what did I think? Okay, I don't remember. Maybe this was fine. Then you would have a rook a little bit more active. But anyway, we just did this. And here, f3, obviously, this light square bishop diagonal is now a massive concern. All our pawns are on dark squares and we have a dark square bishop. But actually, I think rook over, rook b over to still defend the backwards pawn. Rook b over to put our queen here would have been good because it would have been over, up, and then queen in, hitting the bishop, hitting your queen. Once you take, we get a rook there. And then if you put your rook over, we put our other rook over. And if we keep on trading, eventually we've got rooks like this. So my rook is way more active than yours. And your bishop is staring down the diagonal, but it's no longer that much of a concern because I don't have a like a mate threat happening with me. And also you have to move the bishop because it's being attacked. So where would you have moved it, to be honest? Here. Maybe you would have been putting it like right here in the corner where I can't get it. But actually wherever you move, I get a pawn. So yeah, so almost certainly here the move was this. F3 felt very scary, but you're here. And if you put your rook up, what then? Here you put your rook up. Actually, then I may be in trouble again. Um, oh, maybe I just continue with this plan then. Because you can't put your, then you put your bishop over, then I attack you. And even if you go here, because I can do this with check, and you take back, and then I take. Yeah, so I think this was definitely the better move. But anyway, we blocked up the file, put our queen on f2. Crazy. Now we get hit, we hit that pawn back, and this is a nice little trick. If we take the pawn, now rook over to a8, and our queen's trapped. Can't take the rook, can't get out in any direction. It's coming down the file, so can't do that. We did this plan with the bishop instead. Yeah, I mean the other plan we always had was to put our knight here because the bishop is the bishop isn't hanging because your queen's protecting it. Never mind. Bad idea. Alright, so we did this, and here we could have walked out of the way. It just feels like our king is so... Oh, actually, no, if you walk away from this pawn, so you'd have to walk up, actually. And then we drop this pawn, but yeah, okay, so we walk up, and you bring your queen over like you did. And then we hit your queen, you bring it down. You know, this is all very similar. We trade off, you took with your rook, right? And then actually probably we do this. Oh, but hang on then, because if you take, we come down, and once you move your... Oh, but then I'll... Yeah, okay, this was maybe better. Okay, so maybe just king up was actually better. But anyway, king up. You could come in here, though, which would be marginally frightening. Because you could try to get in here. Oh, no, you can't. You could try to get something going. Queen here, queen there. This pawn would hang if we move, so we'd have to just defend the rook situation. Take with the pawn. Take with the story. Although this would be pretty good as well. We'd hit everything. Alright, so we'll see. Yeah, so this, I was trying to trade off because this is clearly not good for me. So trade. Oh, this is where you came to trade, right? And I don't want to lose my pawn if I don't have to. And I completely blanked that my f pawn is being attacked. Um, if I did realize that, I mean, I could have pushed, I guess, but your rook can still come in. Although in that case, it doesn't really matter so much. I can go back. Your dark square bishop can't get at me. Your light square bishop can attack my knight, but I can defend this way. And I don't think there's any way for you to. You can just trade off. You can attack it again. I can defend it again. So, oh, but then I lose a pawn. Fair enough. Okay, so maybe either way I was going to lose some pawns. But here we have a lot of activity, which is great. And here we fell for a stupid. I actually remember winning a game like this in one of the tournaments I had last year, where you take something, and it was literally a knight to bishop rook situation, where you take the knight with the bishop and it's defending the rook. So if we accept the trade, we're just down and we lost. If we take here, we're down and we lost. But we found this in between. Now you have to block. And if we take with our rook, then you push your king up. And then, I don't know, we come back and we're threatening to do this, but your king can actually just run. So we take with the bishop first, so your king can't run. They did play this move to attack our rook again. We just moved it out of the way, and here they flagged. But I'm pretty sure the game would have gone on. If you go here, then, or like here or here, right? I would have gone back to make you go into the corner, and then I can force you to give me the exchange, I think. I can do this threatening mate, and you have to do this. And in that case, I have a rook versus your light square bishop. So that should be winning. Otherwise, one of these, I go back, you run out of the way. Oh, this is the other thing. I can attack the pawn, but yeah, your rook's defending it, so that's not going to work out. So maybe it is just this. And if you moved this pawn in one or two options, in this case, I think I go here, because it forces you to walk into the pawn situation. And then... Oh, alright, no, yeah. Here, and your pawn moved, right? Oh, well, I wonder. If you do this and I take en passant, if you move your king out, I have to move my bishop somewhere, and then I'm threatening mate here. If you take with your rook, then I can actually again just win the exchange with something like this, but I can also go here, forcing you to move your king up, and then I can do this, and you have to come out. Doesn't look like it's actually that good, to be honest. Yeah, okay, so it was probably the exchange in this case. I think it's the exchange. Alright, let's have a look. Clearly we had some mistakes with the attacking plan that we were supposed to have. Our opponent, 1976, so around about our level. Okay, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Let's go to Masters database, and this is the Grunfeld. We take the exchange Grunfeld. E4, knight x, bx, bishop g, bishop c, c5, knight e2, knight g6, bishop e3, oh, not castles, taking first, okay, taking first, we take back. This is the line, I think, where you like end up trading so much stuff. Maybe not. There is a line here where they're able to just like force you to trade everything, but anyway. They decided to castle in this case, which is still a move, and it's very good for white actually. I guess the point that you have this middle. Now, bishop g4, yeah, so I told you bishop d4 is actually one of the moves, forcing f3, and then doing this. Okay, oh, and this is the one where we can take and then do some silliness. Where we take, and then they take, and then we take, and they take, and here you have to take with the king. Which, yeah, I always, but it's because you have to defend here, I guess. I know, but this is defended. I don't remember why you have to take with the king, but I do remember you have to take with the king. Alright, but they didn't do that. They didn't play the knight a5 directly. They didn't play b6. They played queen a4, a5, which is not a mainline move, but we do have one more masters game after rook b1, so let's just look a bit further. Rook d8, queen b3. Oh, this is exactly what we played. e6, d5, d5. Okay, so let's just see, d5. This is, we needed to break at some point. Bishop takes, defending our backwards pawn, hitting your knight. Queen out of the way. h4. Oh, okay, hang on. The queen is also defending that pawn now. That's the point. Okay, so now actually we are trying to launch a kingside attack. This is something to remember for next time. h4, rook e8, rook fc, pinning to your queen. You have to move. h5, knight jumps, f3, taking the square away from you. Queen e. What am I threatening in this case? Lots of knight jumps. It's better for us, but it's not clear. Oh, okay, you can also just get the bishop completely stuck. h6, bishop, knight d4 coming in. A, queen, B, stopping the pawns, hitting the queen, rook over. Okay, now we're attacking too much for you to defend everything. Queen over. Wow, this is something new. Alright, so I think I want to remember. So queen b3 wasn't the worst, but we had to break. Let's just see if the engine agrees. Yeah, you have to break. I'm actually going to go to our studies. Where's the Grunfeld? Grunfeld, here we go. We have the anti-Grunfeld, but we don't care about that right now. No, let's just... Oh, you can play f3 in this situation. Ah, and then there's nothing to attack. This is something new. Okay. I don't remember looking at this at all. Studies don't help if you actually don't play them. We just play the exchange. So just knight c3 exchange. Take here, take here. Yeah, there's a lot of moves you can do. Bishop c4 is main. Let's just put that towards the top. Here, 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 here. And then they took take, and they played queen a4. Queen a5. Queen a5 happens a lot in these games. We played this, they played this, and we played here. Yeah, this is the game. And after this, the point being that we can crack open because you read... Oopsie daisy. You can crack open because you take back with your bishop. Okay. And you've got a lot of pressure there. What happens if they just jump the knight out of the way? Oh, hang on. Sorry, my bad. You have to defend your f-pawn. That was kind of the main point, wasn't it? Um, yeah. So here, and we continue having the threat. That was the point. And if you move your bishop, we take, and if you move your queen, then we keep on developing the knight. The other rook can come us some way, I guess. Yeah, okay. I'm actually going to put this in red, so I remember that idea. Okay. Alright, very nice. Anyway, we didn't do that, and this jump, kind of silly. Yeah, and there's no more... Let's just look at top leeches to see if anyone else has this kind of situation. Rook d8. Queen b3, main move. Oh, wow. f3 or queen... Okay, f3 was the other one we were considering. Rook b5, no. d5, no. I wasn't going to play this by itself. f3 I like. What are we threatening with this? Nothing much just yet. What was our opponent's plan? I don't know. I have no idea what they were going to do. They did play this, but I don't know if that's specifically good. Now I can walk into the same thing again. Okay, so we played queen b3, they played e6, d5. Okay, so everyone else knows you have to play d5 except me. d5, ex. So if knight jumps, you still take, because you get to take with check here. Take with check, king takes back, take the knight. So you win a pawn here. Oh my goodness, this is crushing. And if you run away from the bishop, I take it. If you block, I take again, and it's pinned to your king. So up, I guess, is the only way you can try and keep safe. Here, oh, this has got to be made somewhere. Yeah, which way would be best? I like queen more, because it stops you from going back there. Oh wow, so here you can't go here. So you literally have only got these squares. King h5, knight g3, king f4, queen f4, bishop, rook. Crushing, absolutely crushing. Okay, so we just have to remember the d5 break. We absolutely have to remember the d5 break. We didn't though. We played our rook over, which is actually the second highest move, but it's all of us who don't know what the plan is, just playing this. Okay, then they jumped their queen all the way there, which just seems stupid. Queen c7 is the best, or is the most popular one. Attack the knight. I would take the knight for sure. Yeah, without a hesitation. Oh, hanging a pawn here. I have to play f3 first, right? Anyway, they played over knight g3, f4. No one plays knight f4. Only the person who lost plays knight f4. So we'll see what the engine says. But anyway, we did this. Queen g4. Oh, and this game just ended. Okay, we did this and it's out. F3, bishop 8 trading. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Both our bishops are kind of bad. And Yorfi and Keto, so that seems kind of worse for you. Oh, but then I can do this. Okay, wow. Oh, that can't be the best move for sure. Isn't that just another pawn? No, no, no. Alright, hit the queen. Oh wow, this is a crazy game. Alright, but the d5 break was clearly the thing we had to remember. Alright, let's ask the engine what it thinks. And forgive me for running the total analysis at the bottom, but it looks like my computer actually gets a bit overworked if I use the engine extensively during my analysis. Oh my goodness, we were actually winning. Oh, we actually just had to do it from the start. Just go here to attack some pawns, I guess. What about if they did this? Oh, because I'm attacking everything. And if you take this way, I can again attack everything. Okay, interesting. This is equal. Alright, but then they made a mistake, and we did find this. Oh, here we can actually just win. Oh. Okay, but I mean, I had like no time. But here I can just take, and if you take here, then I can take. Oh, then this pawn is still defended. Oh, wow. Okay, this is just crushing. Yeah, and just winning. Okay, but instead, we mistook it for a we have to take kind of situation. They did this, we moved out of the way. Yeah, this worked. Okay, what was I gonna do here? I was gonna play this way. Here, and then I was gonna do this. And force you to give me the exchange. Oh wow, this is not better? Oh, you're coming out. Oh no, okay, you just had to find the right way to run away. Yeah, okay. Oh well. Okay, going back to the front. This is actually not a good move. I mean, everyone plays it. It's the best move here. Queen b3. e6, d5. Okay. Alright, so if we had the plan, we're clearly doing great against our opponent, but we didn't have the plan, so unfortunate. Right, and then everything got worse. Again d5. You just gotta play d5. In this position, yeah, I did this. They would take. And if they take back, what do I take with the knight? Yeah, just get a nice outpost. No isolated pawns. They can pin it to our queen where we take with check, so that doesn't work. Okay, yeah, but we completely sucked. And here... Oh, this move is actually just terrible. Oh, because they can bring their queen in to attack the pawn. Oh my word! That's so bad. Well, hang on, what if I would do this thing, wouldn't I? Still terrible. Take here, take here, and then... No. How are you getting at me? Here, I guess. Unclear, to be honest. Yeah, here, because you do this... This? No, hang on, let's see. I go up, you take... I take back. Take this. Oh! I'm so silly. Yeah. Okay, because the queen shields it. Oh, -6 if we did that. Alright, and we really caught a break here. Actually, trading was still losing. But this move was actually just losing. But we had to... This pawn... Ugh, this guy can't move. We can take here, and then this rook has to move, and then we can take there, and we are just um, up a bishop. What's it? Yeah, up a bishop, down a pawn, so should be winning. Alright, alright, so I like playing the exchange, but I think now we've learned the main point. You have to break here. You have to break. Even if they jump, you keep on breaking. you keep on breaking, because then you have this as well. If they block, and if they don't block, if they just like run out of the way, you can use your rook, you can use your knight, your, oh my goodness, yeah, the king is just wide open. Alright, so this is really the big takeaway from this game. Alright, I think we're going to call it there. Thank you very much for everyone for watching. As always, we continue to walk down this road. Yeah, we're happy. We're getting a lot of learnings, and unfortunately, there's also a lot of tactical patterns that we're missing. So I think in the background a little bit, apart from reviewing a little bit of the theory, just a bit of the opening stuff, gotta do a few tactics as well. In the end of the day, tactics win so many of our games and lose them. All right, yeah. So keep on walking, keep on improving, and see you next time. Bye.